I've been asked what I think about David Duke's interview with Bill O'Reilly. Sure, I got some thoughts, so I'll put on my pithy pants and dig into my pockets for 2 cents on the subject of old David Duke.
I think with that propaganda.
I don't think much about old Dookie Dave. Thus, I'm not gonna have a lot to say. However, you don't have to say a lot about him to show a lot about Democrats. While liberals keep throwing David Duke being in the KKK in our face, they leave out the fact that David Duke was a Democrat when he was in the KKK. But whatever. Check this out. Isn't it amazing how Democrats can get away with being in the Klan and can cozy up with blacks? And it's okay? It's okay that the Democrats created the Klan. Weird, right? And it's okay to be in the Klan as long as you're a Democrat. But if you were in the Klan and somehow later end up associated with Republicans, now all of a sudden you're evil. Robert Byrd was a high-ranking KKK member, and here he is with Barack Obama. Another illustration of how most of the black community is sold out to the party of the KKK, the Democrat Party. Now, of course, much of the black community won't see it that way. But if Robert Byrd had become a Republican and Obama became a Republican and they took that picture, then all of a sudden Obama would be seen as selling out to the KKK, even though Republicans have nothing to do with the KKK. And it was the Democrats who founded the KKK as sworn enemies of Republicans. Why do people overlook that David Duke was a Democrat when he was in the KKK? If you're gonna stay angry about the KKK, why don't you stay angry about the party who created them? But when a person who decides to leave the KKK as well as the party that created them, then all of a sudden, that person is evil. Robert Byrd played it safe. He stayed a Democrat. He stayed with the party that created the KKK. It has magical powers. You can be a member of the party that created the KKK and a politician who supported Jim Crow laws and be opposed to the Civil Rights Act like Kennedy was, and many blacks will accept you. But if you leave the Democrats, you lose your magical powers, and you'll be seen as evil. And how are the Democrats different from their earlier KKK sentiments? The KKK were anti-Semitic. The Democrats are still anti-Semitic. Their despisement of Israel is totally apparent. Those Jews with their banks and war funding for Israel, it's liberals and Democrats and neo-Confederates shooting most of that noise. And neo-Confederates who were born of the Democrat-represented Confederacy. And you think the Democrats have changed or switched? The Democrats have long shown their socialist colors, just as the Nazis were socialists. And the Democrats who created the KKK hated the Jews just like the Nazis. And Democrats despise the Jews today. And what's even crazier than that is that the majority of Jews vote for Democrats. Weird, right? And despite all the bigotry Democrats have instituted, all it takes is a David Duke to get liberals to start scratching at controversy against conservatives. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNation, and liberals have this stuff totally backwards. They say David Duke is part of a far-right neo-Nazi movement. Do you realize how contradicting that is? You can't be a Nazi and far-right. The Nazis were statists. Statism is not right-wing, it's left. The liberals and Democrats have more in common with the National German Socialist Party than these so-called neo-Nazis do, comrade. It has magical powers.